Hello and welcome to the Environment Important Site series or the covering environment through mapping. In this series, we are covering all the important environmental sites state-wise. So in today's discussion, our focus will be on important environmental sites in the state of West Bengal. Okay. Now, when we say about the important environmental sites, so important environmental sites includes the tiger reserves, the elephant reserves, which both are declared under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. Then we have Biosphere Reserve. We have 18 Biosphere Reserves in India, and most of them are covered under the UNESCO World and Man and Biosphere Program. Then we have Ramsar wetland sites covered under the Ramsar Convention, the World Heritage Sites, that is the Natural World Heritage Site as well as the mixed uh, UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Then we have the Biodiversity Heritage Sites under the Biological Diversity Act of 2002, marine protected areas, national park, wildlife sanctuaries, conservation reserves, community reserves, all under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. So starting with the Biosphere Reserve. So in the state of West Bengal, we have the Sundarbans Biosphere Reserve. Okay. It is located in the Sundarbans Delta. So the location is that it spans on the southern part of West Bengal in India, covering districts like North and South, 24 Pargana or 24 Parganas. It lies at the delta of the river Ganga, Brahmaputra, and the Meghna rivers, and it extends to Bangladesh. So, extending to Bangladesh, we have the Sundarbans mangrove forest, and in that mangrove forest, we have the Sundarban Biosphere Reserve. The geographical features include it is the world's largest tidal halophytic mangrove forest and the deltaic region. It is crisscrossed by a network of rivers, tidal waterways, mudflats, and small islands. The key rivers include the river Ganga, the Matla River, the Raimangal, and the Kuran River. It experiences diurnal tides and the saline freshwater interactions. So, when we talk about the forested areas or these biosphere reserves or the national parks, so one very important thing to note is the geographical features that are there in that particular forest. And in the geographical features, the main geographical feature is the presence of any mountain peak or the presence of rivers or water bodies. Then we talk about type of vegetation. So it is mainly dominated by the mangrove vegetation, and the most notable mangrove species from which the entire biosphere reserve or this entire forest has got its name is the Sundari tree. Okay, along with the trees, it has presence of marshes, mudflats, and the swamp type of vegetation. Talking about the wildlife, so it is the flagship species is the Royal Bengal tiger, and the tigers in this biosphere reserve in this forest they have adapted to swimming in the saline habitat. Also, there is presence of estuarine crocodile, gangetic dolphins, fishing cat, and the leopard cat. And please note that the fishing cat is the state animal of West Bengal. The birds include the kingfisher, herons, egrets, and the migratory birds. The reptiles include the water monitor lizard, olive ridley turtles, and various snakes. The significance is that it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So Sundarbans National Park, which is inside the Sundarban Biosphere Reserve, that is declared as the UNESCO World Heritage Site. That is a natural heritage site. Along with that, it is also a important Ramsar wetland site. So we have Sundarbans Biosphere Reserve. In the Sundarban Biosphere Reserve, we have Sundarban National Park, which is a designated UNESCO World Heritage Site. And it is also, this entire ecosystem is also an important Ramsar wetland site. And it acts as a natural shield against cyclones and the coastal erosion because the mangroves, they provide a shield against the cyclones and the heavy tides. Then it is a source of livelihood for local communities through fishing, honey collection, and ecotourism. And it is home to tribal and forest dependent communities. Now, the name of these tribal communities are also very important, and the communities include the Munda, Mahato, and the Namasudra groups. And it plays a critical role in carbon sequestration and climate regulation. Moving on to the national parks. First, we have the Baksa National Park. Okay, it is located in the Alipurduar district, northern part of the state of West Bengal. Okay, along with the Eastern Doars region. So this entire region is the Eastern Doar region, and this Buxa National Park is located in the region. It shares international boundary with Bhutan to the north. So in north, it is sharing the boundary with the Bhutan. It lies in the foothills of the eastern Himalayas. The geographical features includes the hilly and undulating terrain, and it is traversed by rivers such as the Jayanti River, the Raidak River, and the most importantly Sankosh River. It lies in the transition zone between the Gangetic Plains as well as the Himalayan biodiversity hotspot. So we have Gangetic Plains over here, and we have the Himalayan biodiversity hotspot over here. So it lies at the zone of transition. The type of vegetation here includes the tropical evergreen forest, the semi-evergreen moist deciduous, and subtropical hill forests. The dominant species includes the sal, the chump, and the teak. The wildlife in the Buxa National Parks includes, because this is also a designated Buxa Tiger Reserve. So tigers are the flagship species, along with leopard, clouded leopard, and the leopard cat. The herbivores includes the gaur, Asian elephant, sambar, barking deer, and hog deer. The reptiles includes monitor lizards, pythons, and various snakes and turtles. The significance is that it is part of the Eastern Himalayan biodiversity hotspot. So in India, we have four biodiversity hotspots, out of which there is one in the Himalayas, that is the Himalayan biodiversity hotspot. In this entire region of the Buxa National Park and the Doar region, it is a part of the Eastern Himalayan biodiversity hotspot. It forms a crucial corridor for elephant as well as tiger movement between India and Bhutan. It was declared a tiger reserve in the year 1983 under Project Tiger. It is inhabited by tribal groups. So the tribal groups are important. The name of the groups are Dukpa and the Rawa communities. Okay, it is rich in medicinal plants and the endemic flora. Then in the same region, we have the Godumara or Gorumara National Park. It is situated in the Jalpaiguri district in the northern West Bengal in the Doars region. So as discussed earlier, this is entirely is the Doars region. Okay, it lies between the Murti and the Raidak rivers, which both are the tributaries of the mighty Brahmaputra. And it features the grasslands, riverine forest, and low hills. The type of vegetation it has the tropical moist deciduous forest and semi-evergreen forest, with the predominant species of trees is the sal. And other species includes teak, bombax, shisham, as well as the bamboo. Discussing about the wildlife in the Gorumada National Park, it is known for the Indian rhinoceros. Okay. And it is one of the very few parks or one of the very few protected areas in India having a growing population of the Indian rhinoceros. The other animals here include the Asian elephant, the Indian gaur, sloth bear, sambar, barking deer, and wild boar. The birds include the Indian hornbill, the woodpeckers, the peafowl, and the migratory waterfowl. The significance of this national park, Gorumara National Park, is that it was declared a wildlife sanctuary in the year 1949. That is just after the independence. This was declared a wildlife sanctuary, and it was upgraded to a national park in the year 1994. It is ecologically important for the rhinoceros conservation outside Assam. So most of the Indian rhinos, they live in the state of Assam, but outside the state of Assam, this Godumada National Park is an ecologically important rhinoceros conservation site. Then it forms part of the eastern Himalayan sub-mountain terai Doar savanna and grassland ecoregion. It supports forest-dependent communities such as the Rawa community and the Mech tribes. Okay, so these tribal communities or the tribal groups are important, and it acts as an ecological corridor between the Jaldapara National Park and the Buxa Tiger Reserve. Then the next national park that we have is the Jaldapara National Park, also located in the Doar region. So it is located in the Alipurduar district of the northern West Bengal. It lies in the Doars region at the foothills of the eastern Himalayas. The geographical features include, so it lies along the Torsa River with several streams flowing through the park. The terrain consists of the alluvial floodplain. So the type of soil here is the alluvial soil, and it is dominated by tall elephant grass, swampy areas, and moist deciduous forest. The key species of trees or the vegetation includes the sal, the teak, the cerise, bamboo, and grasses like the saccharum. Then discussing the wildlife in the Jaldapara National Park. So it is notable for Indian one-horned rhinoceros and has the second largest population in India after the Kaziranga National Park. So other mammals include the Asian elephant, Indian gaur, sambar, cheetal, hog deer, barking deer, and wild boar. The carnivores include the leopards, fishing cat, jungle cat. Okay, but this region, the Jaldapara National Park, it do not have any stable tiger population. It was declared a wildlife sanctuary in the year 1941 and was upgraded to a national park in the year 2012. It is an important site for the rhinoceros conservation in eastern India. The tribal communities that live in this region include the Rava, the Mage, and the Toto. Toto tribe is among India's smallest and most isolated tribe. So this is also a important snippet for prelims point of view. Then it is a key component of the Terai, Doar, Savannah, and grassland eco region, and linked ecologically with the Baksa Tiger Reserve and Godumada National Park as part of the Eastern Himalaya Wildlife Corridor. So we have the Godumada National Park over here and the Baksa National Park over in the so so in this Doar region, this makes a continuous belt of the ecologically protected areas. Then we have the Neora Valley National Park. It is situated in the Kalimpong district of the northern West Bengal and lies in the eastern Himalayas bordering Sikkim. So it borders Sikkim to the north and Bhutan to the east. So here is Sikkim and here is Bhutan. So this Neora Valley National Park borders both Sikkim as well as Bhutan. It is one of last remaining pristine forests in the eastern Himalayas and is located near the tri-junction of West Bengal, Sikkim and Bhutan. It is origin of the Neora River. Okay. So important geographical feature is that this Neora Valley National Park is origin of the Neora River and it contains rugged mountainous terrain, dense forest and deep gorges. The type of vegetation here includes the tropical, subtropical, temperate and subalpine forest and rich in broadleaf and coniferous species. The important species includes the oaks, bamboo, ferns, mosses and rhododendrons. The wildlife here, the most important, the flagship species of this Neora Valley National Park is the red panda, which is the flagship species and it is highly endangered. The other mammals includes the Himalayan black bear, clouded leopard, leopard cat, goral, sero, and barking deer. And it is also recognized as an important bird area because of its high biodiversity of birds. It is part of the Eastern Himalayan biodiversity hotspot and it is one of most ecologically rich and less disturbed national parks in India. It is critical for the red panda conservation and provides a corridor for wildlife movement between the state of Sikkim, between the country Bhutan, and the other protected areas in the North Bengal. So, this entire belt of the Doar region, Sikkim, Bhutan over here, and then neighboring state of Assam. So, this is a highly densely forested area and is very important for the wildlife conservation and it supports forest dependent tribal communities such as the Lepchas. So, the important tribal group or the important tribal community here is the Lepchas. Then we have Singalila National Park. It is located in the Darjeeling district of West Bengal. So, it is located in the Darjeeling Singalila National Park. It lies along the Singalila Ridge in the eastern Himalayas, forming border with Nepal. So, it lies on the border with the state of with the country of Nepal and extends from the Manebhajan to Sandipur and Falut, which is the highest points in the West Bengal. The altitude ranges from 2100 meters to 3600 meters. That is Sandakphu Peak. It is part of the Himalayan mountain system with steep slopes, deep valleys, and alpine meadows, and offers panoramic views of the peaks like the mighty peaks of the Himalayas like Kanchenjunga and even Mount Everest on very clear days. So, from this national park, from these higher peaks, we can get a panoramic view of the mighty or the greater Himalayas, having peaks like the Kanchenjunga and the Mount Everest. The type of vegetation here is the temperate broadleaf forests, subalpine coniferous forest, and alpine scrublands. The dominant species includes the rhododendrons, the magnolias, oaks, maples, and bamboos. So, the dominant species are important and it hosts a spectacular rhododendron bloom in the spring. So, the Singalila National Park is known for the rhododendron bloom, which happens in the spring months. Just like the Neora Valley National Park, the flagship species here is also the red panda, and the other species include the Himalayan black bear, clouded leopard, leopard cat, yellow-throated marten. It is also recognized as an important bird area and forms the part of the Eastern Himalayan biodiversity hotspot. So the red panda conservation area it has and it shares with Nepal. It was declared a wildlife sanctuary in the year 1986 and was upgraded to a national park in the year 1992. And it is the culturally significant for local communities. The local communities include in this region are the Lepchas and the Sherpas. So Lepchas and Sherpas are the important local communities. Then we have to discuss the elephant reserves in the state of West Bengal. So first we have the Mayur Jharna Elephant Reserve. So the Mayur Jharna Elephant Reserve, it spreads across the parts of Paschim Midinapur, Bang, Bankura and Purulia districts of West Bengal. So it lies on the western part of the state of West Bengal, that is in the southwestern part of the state and borders the state of Jharkhand. It is characterized by undulating terrain, low hills, plateaus, and forested landscapes. So the important geographical feature here is the presence of the plateaus. It lies within the Chota Nagpur Plateau region. So please note that this Mayur Jharna Elephant Reserve lies within the Chota Nagpur Plateau region, and several season streams and rivulets flow through the reserve. The type of vegetation here includes the dry deciduous forest with mixed open canopies. It is dominated by sal, mahua, palash, kusum, and the bamboo trees. Bamboo is a grass, and others are the trees. Talking about the wildlife, because it is an elephant reserve, so it is known primarily for its population of Asiatic elephants. And other fauna includes the leopards, sloth bear, jungle cat, wild boar, sambar, and barking deer. It was declared an elephant reserve in the year 2002 under the Project Elephant scheme and is crucial for mitigating the human-elephant conflict in the region. Okay, so all these elephant reserves or the elephant corridors, they were made or declared in order to mitigate or in order to reduce the human-elephant conflict. And it plays a key role in elephant conservation and maintaining the ecological balance in a highly fragmented habitat. It is inhabited by forest dependent tribal communities. The important tribal communities, we have to remember the name, that is the Santhal, Munda, and the Bhumij. So these three are the important tribal communities in the Mayur Jharna Elephant Reserve. And it supports local livelihood activities like non-timber forest produce collection, ecotourism, and afforestation programs. Then the second elephant reserve that we have is the Eastern Doars Elephant Reserve. So we have been discussing about the Eastern Doar region and all the the apart from the except for the Sundarbans National Park, all the national parks of the state of West Bengal lies in the Eastern Doar region. And in the Eastern Doars, we have the Elephant Reserve as well. So it is located in the Jalpaiguri, Alipurdur, and part of the Cooch Behar district of the northern West Bengal. Okay, it lies in the Doars region at the foothills of the Eastern Himalayas, close to Bhutan and Assam borders. It is characterized by gently sloping alluvial plains, and it is traversed by major rivers such as Torsa, Raidak, Jaldharak, Jaldhaka, Kaljini, and the other tributaries. It comprises of the forest division and protected areas. It includes the Jaldapara National Park, the Chilapatas Forest, and the Baksa Tiger Reserve and the Baksa National Park. The altitude generally ranges from 90 to 175 meters. It is dominated by moist deciduous and semi-evergreen forest. So the type of vegetation is the moist deciduous. So please note that in the eastern Doar region, the dominant vegetation is the moist deciduous type, and it is rich in grasslands, riverine vegetation, and patches of the tropical wet forest. The important species in this entire eastern Doar region or the Doar region includes the sal, teak, simul, bamboo, and various other grasses. Now, it is a primary habitat for the Asiatic elephants because it is an elephant reserve, okay, with seasonal and resident population. The other fauna includes the Indian gaur, sambar, leopard, wild boar, sloth bear, and the barking deer. It serves as an important elephant corridor connecting Bhutan and Assam with the northern Bengal forests. And it was declared an elephant reserve in the year 2002 under Project Elephant. It plays a critical role in mitigating the human-elephant conflict management and the corridor-based conservation. The tribal communities, the important tribal groups or tribal communities living in this Eastern Dwar Elephant Reserve includes the Rawa, Mage, Toto, and the Santhal groups. Okay. Then we have to discuss the marine protected areas in the state of West Bengal. So first we have is the Holiday Island Marine Protected Area. It is situated in the Sundarbans region. So it is an island located in the delta of the Sundarban region within the South 24 Pargana district and lies in the Sundarbans Biosphere Reserve. And it is located on the eastern bank of the Matla River. It is a tidal island with estuarine and deltaic features. It is influenced by brackish water tides, cyclonic activities, and the sediment deposition. And it is located within the core zone of the Sundarbans Tiger Reserve. So in Sundarban, we have Sundarban is a biosphere reserve in which we have the Sundarban National Park and also the Sundarban Tiger Reserve. It is also declared as a tiger reserve under the Project Tiger. It is also a UNESCO Natural World Heritage Site and an important Ramsar wetland site. Okay, and in that Sundarban Biosphere Reserve, we have the Holiday Island Marine Protected Area, and it is dominated by the mangrove forest. It is home to Bengal tiger, so important wildlife includes the Bengal tiger, and it is rich in estuarine fauna. It is the estuarine crocodiles, otters, mudskippers, and other monitor lizards. There are occasional sightings of the river dolphins in the nearby waters of the rivers or the streams. It was notified as a marine protected area for conservation of marine mangrove ecosystem and estuarine biodiversity and plays a critical role in protecting the breeding and feeding grounds of the marine life. It acts as a natural shield against cyclones and the tidal surges because of the presence of mangroves. It is ecologically connected to the nearby Lothian Island Wildlife Sanctuary, which is also a marine protected area and other parts of the Sundarban landscape, and supports the livelihood of the local communities which are dependent on sustainable fishing and honey collection. And it was recognized under India's commitment. So this Holiday Island Marine Protected Area was recognized under India's commitment of marine and coastal conservation under the CBD, that is Convention on Biological Diversity, as well as the Sustainable Development Goals SDG 14, that is life below water. So these two, the Convention on Biological Diversity and the Sustainable Development Goal 14 or the SDG 14, because India is committed to these convention and the goals. That is why this holiday island was declared as a marine protected area. And second, we have is the Sajna Khali Marine Protected Area. It is located in the North 24 Pargana district of West Bengal within the Sundarbans Biosphere Reserve. So this also lies in the Sundarban Biosphere Reserve and lies near the confluence of the Matla and the Gumdi rivers. It is a part of the Sundarban Tiger Reserve's buffer zone. Now, the geographical features includes it is a tidal deltaic island within the Sundarbans estuarine system, and it is characterized by interconnected tidal creeks. And it receives the tidal influx from the Bay of Bengal. It is dominated by the mangrove forests with rivers and dense growth. Discussing about the wildlife in the Sajna Khalibarin protected area, we have it is a major avian hotspot, especially for wetland and estuarine birds. The key important birds in this region includes the kingfisher, the egrets, herons, cormorants, the whistling teals, the white-bellied sea eagles. And it is notable reptile species includes the estuarine crocodile because this entire region is an estuarine region. This Sundarban Biosphere Reserve. So estuarine crocodiles are there, the water monitor lizards are there, and the turtles are there. Okay, occasionally it is occasionally visited by the Bengal tigers crossing from the nearby land. So we have hundreds of islands over there, and the tigers they move from one island to the other islands. It was notified as a marine protected area and also declared as a wildlife sanctuary. It serves as the administrative headquarters of the Sundarban Tiger Reserve and houses the it supports the ecotourism, education, and community involvement conservation, and it is critical for the mangrove ecosystem conservation. And it plays a key role in the wetland bird conservation and is part of the East Asian Oscillation flyaway. Then we have the third marine protected area, that is the Lothian Island Marine Protected Area. It is located in the South 24 Pargana district of West Bengal, and it also lies in the Sundarban Biosphere Reserve. It lies in the south of the Sajnakhali and close to the Holiday Island and in the deltaic region of the Matla River. So all these Sajnakhali Marine Protected Area, the Holiday Island Marine Protected Area, as well as the Lothian Island Marine Protected Area. So all of these three are associated with the Matla River, and it is a part of the Sundarban Tiger Reserve buffer zone adjacent to the Bay of Bengal. Now, it is also just like the previous two, the Sajnakhali as well as the Halide Island. So, this is also a tidal island in the lower Sundarban Delta. It is surrounded by the brackish water estuaries and the mangrove fringed tidal channels. It is dominated by the dense mangrove forests. The vegetation or the wildlife over here is the important habitat for estuarine crocodiles and the water monitor lizards. Dolphins, especially the Irrawaddy and the Gangetic dolphins, may be spotted surrounding the tidal waters, and it is also occasionally visited by the Bengal tigers and the fishing cats from the nearby island. So, these carnivores, that is the fishing cat as well as the Bengal tiger, are they inhabit all these hundreds of islands that are in the deltaic region, and they move between the islands. It was declared a wildlife sanctuary and marine protected area to conserve the estuarine ecosystem and coastal biodiversity, and it acts as a breeding and nursery ground for many marine and brackish water species. It protects the coastal habitat and from erosion and storm surges. It supports sustainable fishing for the nearby communities. It is important for research, ecotourism, and conservation education, and it forms part of India's coastal conservation strategy under the Sustainable Development Goal 14, that is life underwater, below water, and also the conventional biological diversity targets. Finally, we have the Ramsar sites or the important wetlands. So we have discussed about the Sundarban wetland, which is this entire Sundarban region, which is also declared as a Ramsar wetland important site. Other than that, we have the East Calcutta Wetlands Ramsar site. So, as the name suggests, it is situated on the eastern periphery of the city of Kolkata and spread across the South and East Kolkata metropolitan area. It lies between the Salt Lake City and the East Kolkata Township, and it comprises of a complex of natural and man-made wetlands. So, this has a mixture of both the natural as well as man-made wetlands, including the sewage-fed fish ponds, and it acts as a natural sewage treatment system for the city of Kolkata and lies in the lower deltaic plain on the Ganga Brahmaputra Meghna Delta. Now, the type of vegetation this Ramsar site has, it is dominated by the aquatic as well as the semi-aquatic vegetation. The important wildlife here includes the important aquatic biodiversity. It has over 40 species of birds and it supports reptiles, amphibians, and insects. And it is a crucial stopover for migratory birds on the Central Asian flyway. It was designated a Ramsar site in the year 2002 for its ecological and economic value, socio-economic value. It is world's largest wastewater fed aquaculture system. Please make a note of this point that the East Calcutta Wetlands Ramsar site is the world's largest wastewater fed aquaculture system. That is, it naturally treats the Kolkata's domestic sewage through ecological recycling. So it is also important for bioremediation. Okay, it supports livelihood for over 20,000 people via fishing, vegetable farming, and duck rearing. And it acts as a carbon sink, urban flood buffer, as well as climate moderator for the city of Kolkata. And it was recognized as wetland of international importance under Ramsar Convention. It faces threats like all the other wetlands. So there are certain threats that this wetland also faces. That is from increased urbanization, encroachment, as well as pollution. And it is managed under East Kolkata Wetland Management Authority. So these were the important environmental sites from the state of West Bengal. That includes the Sundarban Biosphere Reserve, that includes the many national parks, the elephant reserves, the tiger reserves, especially the Baksa Tiger Reserve as well as the Sundarban Tiger Reserve. It also includes the three important marine protected areas, which also are designated as the wildlife sanctuaries. And then we have the two important Ramsar sites, that is the East Calcutta Wetland Ramsar site and the Sundarban Delta, that is also a Ramsar site.